With the adage nothing is ever deleted from the internet in mind, what is something you have seen vanish from the net? Local rock music from the mid to late 2000s. Every kid born in 2000 is going to have their terrible garage band YouTube videos forever, but some of the 90s kids seem to have gotten away with it. There is one track in particular I really want, but it was called New Noise. There are lots of songs with the same name, and the band were this year's Black, which just yields really crummy fashion sites. I am disappointed. There is a video of the drummer doing his bit, and some of their other tracks are on Bebo, but otherwise no trace. WTF? I used to be in that band. I wasn't for the recording of that track, but I should have a copy of it about somewhere. I'll try and dig it out when I get home. Edit, actually have it on my Dropbox replaced with YouTube link so I don't kill my Dropbox youtube.com edit too. I'm as confused as everyone else. I was just on my lunch browsing Reddit, as usual, and seen the comment about a song called New Noise. I thought, my old band had a song called that. Then I kept reading. WTF? Edit 3, rip my inbox. This track is from 2005. I left the band in 2008 and the band broke up completely in 2009, so there's not much chance of a reunion. This video has probably accumulated more views in an hour than we ever did over several years. Thanks for the kind comments. As I said above, this track was written before I joined, so I can't take any credit for it in particular. I played bass. No, none of us ever made it, although the drummer does now work as a successful sound engineer. That Angelfire website I made in 1999 for computer science class. I just checked the website I made for web design in high school. It's still up. My parents have been paying for it this whole time without realizing it. Link. There are a few deleted YouTube videos I simply cannot find anymore. I've tried doing Wayback Machine, they're not on it. So, a lot of YouTube videos, especially those from the beginning, are gone. I can't even find videos that I posted to YouTube. Edit, to make matters worse, the original video got lost when my HDD died. I wish I couldn't find the videos I posted. AOL chat rooms. It's how we killed hours on end before Reddit. AIM was a necessity growing up. It's how my wife and I communicated for the first year or two when we first met in high school. It's how people shared files. No one talked about it much, but we shared so much music back then since you could just select a folder to share with your friends if you were online. Away messages were carefully curated pieces of art, aka Linkin Park lyrics, and you actually had to tell people when you were available to chat or not, unlike messaging today. I sorta miss that world, but I also love where we are technologically today. Any disparaging remarks towards Mark Zuckerberg on FB? Hey Zuckerberg. Delete this, you mangy mongrel. Doesn't look like anything to me. These violent Mark Zuckerberg comments have violent ends. It used to be Prince music videos. He had people whose job was to go and delete every video of his that someone posted. Don't know if that's quite the same after his death. For the last few months, new videos have been uploaded to his official channel, 2 or 3 at a time every week. You can now find probably about 70% of his videos on YouTube, and a bunch of his professionally shot full-length concert videos on other sites. One good Redditor has a nicely organized sub for it, Pertovkup. After, or just before, his death, his music suddenly popped up on Spotify and multiple other sites. Apparently maybe he had reached a deal just before his passing to allow his stuff to be streamed. Definitely after. When Prince died, I wanted to listen to a bunch of his stuff while working, kind of as a tribute of sorts, but then realized that his stuff was impossible to find. I checked Spotify, YouTube, Google Play Music, nothing. As a matter of fact, at around that time, Spotify had Sinead O'Connor's entire catalog. Except Nothing Compares to You, by far her biggest hit, because that song had been penned by Prince. A few months later, I realized Prince's stuff had appeared on YouTube, and his catalog was available on Spotify. I mean, it's possible that Prince himself had in fact reached a deal to get his stuff online and that his music would have been available anyway had he still been alive, but I can't quite shake the feeling that Prince himself never wanted his songs to be streamed online, but that now that he isn't around anymore to object, whoever is in charge of his catalog was free to ignore his wishes and just put everything out there. He apparently never left a will. Whoopsie, guess he ducked up on that one. Can't wait till they hologram his face into the Super Bowl halftime show. Well, he died at 57 because he owed it on fentanyl. Can't really see that one coming. And as far as I know, he had a bunch of half-siblings that took control of his belongings. When they realized they could release his entire catalog for their own benefits, they probably screamed yes. So loud that it still echoes around the world and drowns out the spinning noises that reportedly come from his grave. I live near Paisley Park and I was wondering what that sound was. Please send earplugs. A video I saw in 96 or 97 of a giant snake that ate a lion. There are villagers surrounding a snake with a huge lump. They poke it with a stick to see if the snake will move. Instead, the lion wakes up. You see it wiggle a little, then claws shred through the snake and a very gross and disoriented lion runs into the brush and there's just a big open snake tube on the ground. It was the greatest video I have ever seen. I haven't seen it since. If it existed, it would be on Reddit, reposted into infinity, and everyone would have seen it. On the one hand, I refuse to believe this is a thing that actually happened. On the other, I've never wanted to be proven wrong so hard. The Jump the Shark website. There used to be a website where people discussed which specific episode or moment for each TV series jumped the shark and started to decline. TV Guide bought the website, and then it was gone. Also, the Ween.net forum, a discussion forum for Ween fans, where all sorts of crazy shit besides Ween was also discussed and shared. The band even dropped by occasionally to post as well. I really miss that forum. Jump the Shark was a phenomenal website. Duck TV Guide for destroying it. A bunch of fanfiction and fan sites, old archives, mostly by death of GeoCities. Some can still be recovered by means of Wayback Machine, but some were lost forever. The worst version of this is when you manage to dig up a big old fic you want to reread on Wayback, and it's one of those that has multiple URLs for chapters or sequels, and you're going along, and then it turns out that part 5 out of 6 isn't archived. The Horror. Those misheard lyrics videos on YouTube. There was one channel that did them really well, and it seems to have shut down. I remember the Fall Out Boy ones being really funny, but haven't been able to find them for quite some time. The imitators that are left are not good. Likewise, the literal music video fad, where they'd change the lyrics to the song to describe exactly what was happening in the video. You can still see some famous ones like Safety Dance, but dozens have vanished. This one is still up, and I got a hard-ass woman laughing out loud with it, U2.B. Oh man, I still sing these lyrics in my head when I hear Total Eclipse. I whip my head to the right. What the effing crap? That angel guy just felt me you up. Pa. Priceless. I know I heard Rammstein do a version of Du Hast entirely on a banjo, but do you think I can find that shit anywhere? It wasn't a cover. I swear. I know what I heard, edit, so far none of the covers sound remotely like it. There's a chance the vocals were ripped from an original and placed over a banjo cover. I MMA try find out my old HDD and see if I can find it out. The thing about the old MP3 sharing days is that many songs were mislabeled. So if you had this song labeled as being done by Rammstein, it possibly wasn't done by them. Even until this very day people still think that Ello did Blinded by the Light, due to it being mistitled on Napster. Remember all the stuff that was quite obviously not Weird Al, like female singers, but was still labeled as such, almost as if Weird Al was a genre name. Yeah, almost anything parody-like was credited to Weird Al. The Star Wars Cantina by Richard Cheese was always credited to Weird Al. Weird Al straight up told people to stop accrediting him for music because lots of vulgar racist music was being labeled with his name. Ducking every SNL sketch. Why do I have to watch Bill Murray's love theme from Jaws in some idiot's iPhone footage of his portable TV? Edit. The thing I am perhaps most desperate to find is not an SNL sketch, but a Letterman sketch. It was Paul Schaefer sitting down to make himself a sandwich. He looks at the table and realizes he's got the PB but no J. He goes to get it, Letterman jumps into frame, shakes the PB up like a can of soda, and jumps back out of frame. When Paul gets back, he opens the PB and it blows all over his face. I saw it on TV, and have never been able to find it since. Although, in my extensive searching, I did come across a great story about how the squib in the peanut butter nearly killed Paul. Yeah, SNL has their shit on lockdown. It's really bad for people outside the US. So many things that are uploaded are geoblocked to the US, but nobody bothers uploading bootleg copies because the originals exist. I legitimately had to illegally download a movie that had been released for free, as it was marketing, but also a doco, because it wasn't available in my country, and it took me over a year to find, because it was free.